Back in 2016, 2017, I was kind of just feeling depressed after I left college. So I just found an escape, started using marijuana, other drugs, not knowing where my life was heading.
I knew I had done everything I could for her, and I knew she was hanging around with the wrong people. I knew she was going down a wrong path, but I didn't know what to do about it.
I found myself in a detective's car. I was very overwhelmed, confused. He took me into jail, took me into a room, and he just started booking me. He started taking, my picture, started telling me I was arrested, had a warrant out, and I was like calling people, trying to figure out what's going on. They're like, Brittany, you're in trouble.
When I learned that Brittany had been arrested, we were shocked, and we immediately reached out to people that we knew were in law enforcement. I reached out to Aunt Glenda.
My husband and I were talking, and then he was like, what about that article that we read in the Southeast Outlook? It was Daryl Davis and the Prisoner's Hope. I reached out to Daryl. He stepped in and started helping us make sure, number one, that she was safe, and number two, that we connected her with someone that could help her while she was still incarcerated. And we had still many months to work the court system and that kind of thing.
When we were contacted by Brittany's family, Brittany was at Louisville Metro during her time. She had already been arrested. It was a bad situation. This girl was at the wrong place, the wrong time with the wrong friends, and some of those charges had rolled over on her. It looked like she was very possibly going to do a lot of time.
So as a mom having your daughter in jail, there really couldn't be a worse feeling. But I also knew that she was going to get through this, and this is a rock that someone had given me that has the word hope on it. And that was one thing, we never gave up hope. We always had hope. I always knew she was going to come out of this for the better.
So then I started going to church and AA meetings in jail. I saw other people reading the Bible, and I got curious and I started reading it as well. I left that opened underneath my pillow every night. I don't really know how to explain that or know why, but I had to have it with me. I just felt that connection. There was a sense of calmness and that I was going to be okay.
There was a turning point for her, and I believe that's when she did find Christ while she was in jail, because then her whole mood changed. She was more positive. She was more understanding of what she had done and trying to make things right.
God sat me down in jail for 7 months to just think about who I've hurt, what I've done to cause so much pain to people. He turned it around. I committed to him, and things just fall into place.
One of the things that happened with Brittany was that she was very fortunate to be able to be the first person to do what's called HIP, home incarceration placement, through Metro, and they placed her at Louisville Hotel.
So in 2018, I was at the Wayside Christian Mission. I'd been there for about a month, and that's whenever I had met Brittany for the first time. She worked housekeeping at the Hotel Louisville, where the women's program was, and I was a maintenance man there as part of the work therapy program.
I remember when Brittany was talking about a boy that she had met there. We cautioned her not to get involved with that. God was obviously working something that we weren't able to see. When we finally met John, much later down the road, we realized that he absolutely was an amazing guy.
One thing I think that was very important from the very beginning for Brittany is to have a mentor that was not a family member. And Selena had just taken Brittany under her wings to this day and has helped her each and every step of the way.
I just remember her always saying, don't give up, just rely on God, girl. And she would send me devotionals. She would send me videos every morning for like 2 months just of encouraging messages from pastors, and waking up to that is the best feeling.
So the program was one of the best things that's ever happened to her. And honestly, her getting arrested is one of the best things that happened to her, because I don't know where she would be if she hadn't.
So I remember the day that we got out. It was probably the scariest and the happiest day of my life. Happy because we were starting our journey in life together. Scary because we didn't know what our next move was going to be. We were both felons at this time and didn't know where we were going to live, how we were going to make money.
So I reached out to Daryl, and he mentioned, hey, I have somebody who can give you a home, an apartment that we rent right now. And, we were grateful. I mean, so grateful. We didn't know our next step in life, and that was it.
And that's where the Prisoner's Hope came into my life, through Brittany. So she gave me Daryl's number, and I reached out to him, and I told him my situation, that I couldn't find a job because of my background, and I really needed to find a job in order to support us in our life. And that day he told me to come see him, and he made some phone calls, and that day I had an interview and I had a job working for R-Squared Builders. And it was a very, very big blessing for us at that time.
I'm just so thankful for Prisoner's Hope and them walking alongside us through this journey.
And faith and hope plays a huge part in that for all of us.
Absolutely.
When I think about Prisoner's Hope, I just think about how grateful I am in helping me become a successful citizen in everyday life, a successful husband, a successful father. They've just been one of the biggest blessings in my life.
They've helped me become the best person I've ever have seen of myself, have others seen of me.
It's been amazing watching Brittany's life unfold and watching her flourish as a young woman and watching John unfold as a man. And that's what the Prisoner's Hope's about. And so it's a mutual transformation, and it's a huge opportunity just for us to lean in, and a privilege to watch God unfold lives.